Hello, guys. Welcome to Speak Now English Academy. My name is Mateus, and today we will be learning how we can describe existence in English. We will learn how we can describe existence in affirmative, negative, and question sentences. So, if you want to become fluent in English, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button to stay tuned the content that will take you to fluency. So, let's get down to business. The first part, guys, of our discussion, it is to understand um, when we use there is and there are, because this usually creates doubts on people that are learning the language. So we use there plus be, there is, are, is, and are being verb to be, to describe that something exists or it doesn't exist, as well as to specify where that something is, right? To talk about specific location. And then you can ask, but Mateus, what is the difference between there is and there are? And this is what we will learn right now. Here I separated a picture of some people that I want us to use to contextualize our discussion. Okay, so we can see, let us begin with there is. We can see that there is, let me, there is a laptop on the table. How many laptops do you see on the table? Are there two, three, 10, or simply one? That is one, right? So in this case, we say there is a laptop on the table. We could also say there is a woman wearing a black jacket behind the couch. Yes. How many people are wearing a black jacket? Only one. That is a person wearing the black jacket then. Other thing that we can identify, it is the cushion. Yes, there is a cushion beside the man wearing glasses. There is only one man. There is only one person wearing glasses. As there is only one person wearing a red shirt. So there is we use for singular. Okay, so when we describe singular existence, there is a laptop on the table, and if we want to correct that, we could say there is. Yes, so we contract, we put the apostrophe plus s. There is a laptop on the table. All right, guys. So here there are some examples of the usage of there is. There is a laptop on the table. There is a woman wearing a black jacket behind the couch. There is a book on this woman's hands. Okay, so you see here there is only one book. So that is singular, right? So let's move on now for the plural. Other thing now that we can identify, it is that there is a room, right? And these people are inside the room. So I could say there are people in the room. Yes. There are women in this room, and there are men in this room. There are some plants there, some plants behind the man wearing the red shirt. Okay, so all of this, I would say, there are, because it is plural. There are people, there are women, there are men, there are papers on the table. Okay, so it is not just only one paper, but there are some paper sheets on the table. So some examples concerning the plural, we could say There are people in the room. There are some plants behind the man wearing the red shirt, and there are some paper sheet on the table. Um, I would suggest you guys to write this down, take some notes so that you memorize and you acquire this information better. And one exercise that you can do is look around you and try to describe what things exist around you. For example, in front of me, there is a camera. Beside the camera, there is a TV monitor. There is a lamp there. There is a mug in front of me. Now there is a mug on my hands. There is a phone. There is a pencil case. There are some certificates that I've got. There are some paintings. There is a sofa, a couch behind me. So these things exist in the place that I currently am. So do the exercise of writing down what that is and what that are around you. Okay. So the first part of our discussion was to understand when to use there is and there are. There plus be. We use to describe that things exist. The second part of our discussion was connected with understanding the difference between there is and there are. Now, the third part of our reflection is connected with understanding how we can use the affirmative, the negative, and the interrogative. Let me give it here a zoom. Taking the examples from the discussion, our previous discussion, we could say there is a laptop on the table, singular, right? Existence is singular, only one. And there are people in the room. So this is both of these sentences, they are affirmative, as I am affirming, it's a statement. When I say, when I want to say the negative, I could simply say, modifying the sentences that we had previously, there is not a laptop table. In the contraction, there isn't. There is not, there isn't. There are not people in the room. As the negative of this sentence, it is the negative of the plural. In the contraction, we would say there aren't people. Yeah, and then guys, you see that to um, contract that, we remove the O, and in the place of O, we add the apostrophe. And then we put together the verb to be with not. And finally, in the questions, we would say, is there a laptop on the table? We invert the verb to be. Is there a laptop on the table? Are there people in the room? Instead of saying there is, which is affirmative, we say is there. Instead of saying there are, which is the affirmative in plural, we say are there. So this is how we create questions. Negative and affirmative sentence with there plus be. All right. And the last part of our discussion is connected with um, how we can use some and any, because we could say there are some people in the room. This is affirmative. We use some when we don't want to specify, or when we don't need to specify the quantity. Uh, the quantity becomes irrelevant. There are some people there. I do not know if it is 3, 5, 10, 20. There are some people there. We use that for affirmative. Okay, so some is used affirmative. Um, existence. While any we use for interrogative and negative, as we can see in the following. Are there any people in the room? And then we could say there aren't any people in the room. Guys, so some for affirmative existence, any for negative existence, and question. about existence. So this sums up our discussion on there+be. We have learned when to use it, how to use it, the difference between there is and there are, how we can construct affirmative, negative, and question this structure, and finally, what is the difference between some and any. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, share with other students that are becoming fluent, that want to become fluent in English, and I see you on our next lesson. Next lesson, we will be talking about prepositions of place. Thank you for your attention, best wishes, and thank you for wanting to know more today than you did yesterday. Bye bye.